And welcome back to Go. I'm Kevin Hirschfield. Today we're talking model trains. We're going to introduce you to some of the finest model train layouts in the city. First, we're in the basement of Norm Leathers, and when I walked in here, I was blown away by the setup you have here. Norm, thanks for letting us come down here. We're going to get to the details of this layout in a second. First of all, I mentioned off the top, the Winnipeg Model Railroad Club has their open house coming up April 2nd to the 3rd. You're a member of this club. How long does the club go back, and how many members are there of the club, and what do you guys do?
Well, the club goes back to 1955, and I actually joined in 1957, but then I was away with the Air Force after I graduated school. And I've been a member continuously since 1970.
Okay. Now, how did you get into railroad collecting and trains? What was it about trains that maybe piqued your interest a little bit? I'm sure a lot of members of your clubs have maybe similar stories. What was it about trains that piqued your interest when you were young?
You know, I really don't know, because I never remember not being interested in trains, even when I was a little boy of about 4 or 5.
Take us through this layout, Norm. What are some unique parts of this layout that you can show us?
Well, what I've done, I've really modeled a Canadian railroad, although I run mostly Pennsylvania Railway, which is northeastern United States. And there are a variety of scenes. Over here we have a mountain scene and we have a prairie scene. This scene right here is modeled after Drumheller. My wife suggested I do something like that, and when we were in Drumheller, she took pictures, and my son, who is artistic where I am not, actually made this scene, which is directly modeled after Drumheller. And then over here I have a cityscape, which is not finished, and a small yard.
How long does something like this take to put together from start to finish? How long did it take?
Well, it varies on the individual builder. I started this railroad in 1968, and I've been working on it ever since. And most of the parts on it are complete, but I still have scenes that have to be detailed and brought up to standard.
Do you have a name for this at all, or is there really no name that you can really attach to?
Well, I run Pennsylvania Railroad, and I also have more Canadian Pacific locomotives and cars than most people who do Canadian Pacific. But I've been in the hobby for 60 years, so you accumulate a lot of stuff in 60 years.
Well, I imagine being a part of something like that for so long, what is it that you still enjoy about doing this now 60 years, you were saying?
Funny thing, something you might not expect, but most of my friends now are model railroaders, and so I enjoy being with them, exchanging ideas with them, having them come over here and run trains with me.
Oh, sounds good. What a cool setup you have here, Norm. That's just one, though, of the 3 model train layouts we're going to show you today on Go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.